Hey, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is October 23rd, 2022. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, starting looking at the Qs, we had last week, this day right here, and it's been a very choppy action since, but we did get a day 6 follow-through day right over here. That was Friday, and we are starting to see these moving averages start to curl back up and flatten out, and maybe this is a double bottom. We'll find out after the fact, right? You'd have to get above all this supply, all these moving averages, and so on and so forth. But definitely, if nothing else, a counter trend rally. If you like this type of analysis, especially some intermarket analysis, check out my state of the market, which I did yesterday. It's on my YouTube channel. So check that out. All right, but let's get into some names that are looking good. So I went with strength, right? Relative strength, because that's what we always should be looking for. And let's be honest, energy, XLE, is looking pretty good. Now we are in earnings season. So with that being said, you know what? Know your earnings dates, right? First off, know your earnings dates. But if you're worried about earnings dates, maybe just buy the ETF XLE or one of the bit larger ETFs in the energy space, right? OIH, XOP, IXC, one of those, right? And so you don't worry about earnings dates on any one particular company because you're buying the whole basket of companies. But if you don't care about that and you want individual stocks, let's go through some names. All right, XOM is the first one. Let's take a look at this one. I mean, beautiful double bottom breakout, earnings coming up, but again, very easy to manage risk. Matador, MTDR. Some of these are a little extended, right? Maybe this is coming into supply. Maybe this needs to come back and retest with earnings coming up and everything, and let these moving averages catch up. But again, this is definitely a pattern that we're going to see across the board in a lot of energy names. FANG, right? Again, is this extended? Absolutely. So maybe these energy names need to come back a little bit and let the moving averages catch up. But overall, it's looking very good. If I do Fang, I almost always will do Venom with it because I think they're brothers. And you can see here, just it's been kind of choppy. But with that being said, this is definitely an area of interest. And if we can get above it, above 3350-ish, that would be the place to manage risk against, but not too bad right here. And the last one in this bunch will be Murphy Oil. Again, looking at these charts, you have this nice clean breakout right over here. Again, a little bit extended. Many of these names are extended. I wouldn't be shocked next week if we see a pullback in energy, especially with earnings season coming. Who knows? I mean, they could get more extended, don't get me wrong, but these moving averages, it's starting to get a little bit extended, like what we saw here, maybe coming back into the 10-day. I don't know if it's going to come back to the 23-day. And this may be a buy off the 10-day type of situation. We'll see. All right, so that was energy. I think biotech is looking really good, right? So whether you want to go with IBB, if you want the ETF, or XBI, those are the two big ones, right? Overall, but biotech is really kind of I know that this chart doesn't show it, but there's a lot of relative strength under the surface in biotech. It looks really good. So let's look at some names that look really good in my opinion. First one would be Vertex. I mean, just as clean as it could be right here, right? You have higher lows, the whole way, higher lows, right? Right near bunched up moving averages. You do have earnings coming up soon. Again, very little give back in the volume as it's consolidating and less sellers every time it pulls back. So Vertex Pharmaceuticals looks great. MYOV, love the big gap here on volume, right? It was a big gigantic day up. Now it's moving sideways. Again, earnings are coming up, but again, very, very strong looking name. NBIX, these are all biotech names. Again, tons of accumulation. There's your earnings date right there. You can maybe say this was a breakout here and it's kind of holding this area. Either way, 100 level or so, actually higher than 100 level, maybe 108, 109, roughly the 23 day. That is where I probably manage risk. Again, we do have earnings coming up. ISEE, monster name. I mean, look at this volume here, right? Now, when I get rid of the volume, just so you can see on a relative basis, it doesn't dwarf what's going on here. You see that there's very little give back, right? Very little give back on the down days. So I like that a lot in this particular name. Again, looks really strong. Let's do a VWAP from here. And yeah, way above the VWAP from there, right? So everything looks good. That's IC. And then AKRO is the last one in this group. Again, strong up. Let's go ahead and do an anchored VWAP right there. Again, super strong. See how it was resistance. Then it comes support there. And again, getting rid of the giant bar so you see the relative. I mean, look at this. Just more accumulation and nobody selling. That's AKRO. Very strong looking name right there as well. All right. Yeah, it went from $11 to $28. So yeah, strong, great name. All right. What else is looking good? I think industrials are starting to look good. XLI is the ETF for that, the main ETF, but specifically it's the steel names I like the best. So SLX is the steel ETF. Again, gigantic day here on Friday. I'm still underneath the 200 day, but again, maybe a double bottom-ish look to it. Some individual stock names in the ETF, STLD. Okay, nice little inverse head and shoulder breakout on volume. Right now we're extended because it just went up 8% on a day. Look at these 2 days too. Oof, right? Almost 15% between the 2 days. So again, it may have to come back, retest this $89. I'd probably wait for it to hit the 10-day, right? If the 10-day could catch up, that's where I'd probably enter it. But a beautiful looking inverse head and shoulders in Steel Dynamics. Nucor NUE, double bottom look to it. I'm kind of watching this area. It just had earnings, very strong reaction the last 2 days. Again, steel names are looking good. That's why SLX. If you don't want to buy Steel Dynamics or Nucor extended, you could buy SLX, and there'll be a little bit. You won't get as much upside, but also you may not get as much downside. So that's one of the nice things about ETFs. But Nucor, I think, a very defined area here. Again, this is a tough one because you could say maybe it's here, the defined area. It's coming into resistance, maybe then it comes back, lets these moving averages catch up, and then breaks out for the final breakout. That'd be a possibility too, right? What else? AMR, I think it's a coal name, I think, this one, so put in with industrials, but just a really kind of level, something like this. If it breaks this downtrend line, I love how these moving averages are bunched up and getting bullishly aligned. So on the breakout, with earnings coming up there. What else do we have? CMC. I think it's Comerica, right? Commercial or something. It's a metal company. Anyway, again, very clean area, whether you want to call this an inverse head and shoulders or whatever. Dividend coming up, but defined risk. That's what the most important thing is. And again, bullishly aligned moving averages. SBS is a industrial name in Brazil, I believe. I think they deal with water utility. And again, just very defined risk here. It's a little bit looser, right? But not terribly loose. And it's trying to break out of this bottoming pattern. What's not to like about this, right? So if it can close above, I don't know, anywhere around here, or maybe it needs to consolidate inside day, let the moving averages catch up, but good accumulation going on in this name. All right, and then my last group will be my miscellaneous group, a lot like we'll call it technology-ish, right? XLK has gotten beaten down, still looks like it's in a downtrend, but maybe we're getting this counter trend rally, and some XLK, some technology names are looking okay. First one we're talking about is Frog. Here's Frog. And we'll pull this just a little bit there. Here we go. Look at that. So you got earnings coming up, but it's kind of making this bottoming pattern. It's a strong looking pattern. Now the moving averages are starting to catch up and flatten out and turn back up again. It may need a little bit more time, but this is starting to look really, really good. AEHR, again, strong breakout here, very strong breakout. You have some, I would say this area just above it that could become resistance, right, in this 25 area. But it's a decent amount of time away. And we take all this out, you see how the volume has really started to come in here again ever since earnings, right? Right there. And it's really been off to the races since. There's a real strong name. Again, you could buy it. I mean, I would like to see it come back a little bit just because it's so extended, and maybe come to here, then maybe needs to consolidate again. And then the true breakout would be above this $26, $27 area, right? This AEHR, DV, double verify. We'll call this $29, $30 area right there. That's going to be the important area. Probably pull this all the way across here and show you that it's been important for a while. Again, that's your bottom again, and each pullback has been a higher low. See how each one's a higher low? Love that. Decent accumulation too. What else? PRTA, giant up right here. Then this consolidation, moving averages are catching up. Again, nice volume coming in. That's Prothena. And the last one is HQY. Again, this was my miscellaneous spin, so they're not all technology. This is health equity. And just kind of zooming in here a little bit. And you see this base, and then there's your breakout. And so very easy to manage risk, again, in this particular name. So there you go. There was roughly 20 names or so for you. Market had a follow-through day, bullish alignment within the context of a downtrend still. Maybe the bottom's in, maybe the bottom's not in. We won't know until after the fact. All we can play this rally, for as long as we can. So find the names that you like. Manage your risk appropriately, because if the market is in a downtrend still longer term, it could turn against us at any time. And good luck out there. If you like this type of video, check out my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to it. And also on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. I offer a super follow group where I give a ton of extra content every single week, every single day. So check me out there too. Okay. Y'all have a great day. Bye.